And here we go, everybody. Another edition of Jamal About Sports coming to you on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Before we start, let's pay some bills. This episode of Jamal About Sports brought to you by South River Watch Company. Go to southriverwatchco.com to get yours and discover the essence and the timeless elegance with South River Watch Company. Inspired by the breathtaking beauty of the Chesapeake Bay and the serene South River, their watches capture the spirit of adventure and craftsmanship. It is also my great honor and privilege to welcome back one of the OGs of the Jamal About Sports podcast, Aaron Green, AG. What is up?
It's good to be back. I want to say pandemic. Last time we did a show from the Dean Street Brooklyn studio.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
It may even have been because remember, it was post. I mean, remember there was a series of months there where there was no sports.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There wasn't really, but yeah, I think after things started cooking again, I think probably 21 might have been the last one because then I moved in April of 21. So. Probably sometime around, maybe 2020, 21. So, yeah, as you see, we've got a whole new format, much like Kramer. I've retooled.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
It's edgier,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Two animal acts on one show. What is this, amateur hour?
You clean it up, mister.
All right, we've got a big show to get to. We've got NFL draft coming up on Thursday, so we'll make some predictions, talk about what the Lions and the Cowboys, as those who don't know, you are a huge Cowboys fan, so we'll talk a little bit about both of our teams and what they want, what they may do, what we would like them to do, and what we would not like them to do.
Yeah.
We could also talk a little Jets-Giants, too, since they're the local teams here in New York. We will talk some baseball. New York Metropolitan
Not
baseball.
a subject I think you probably want to talk about right now. Are you enjoying the Devin Williams experience?
Well, I mean, totally predicted. I predicted it months ago when the Mets signed him. I said it was one of the most obvious things ever is that Devin Williams would be bad for the Mets. I mean, and I know Edwin Diaz is now hurt and is going to miss several months for the Dodgers. Doesn't matter. It was just if anything was, there couldn't have been anything more predictable than Devin Williams being bad for the Mets. I understand it's only one blown save so far, but even in the games he's saved, he's been a bit shaky, and obviously hasn't been many of them. So, yeah, we'll get to the Mets because this is going to be a little Festivus.
We got a lot of family grievances.
Yeah, we will be airing some grievances on this show when it comes to the Mets, and I know you are not all that thrilled with the Yankee manager, as most Yankee fans that I am friends with also are not huge Aaron Boone guys, and I think with good reason. So we'll get to some baseball. But we start with the New York Knickerbockers and a very frustrating and disappointing outcome from last night.
There can be no more frustrating endeavor than to root for that basketball team. It's always the faces change, but the song remains the same.
It's true.
Can we just do away with like alumni night? Every time the former Knicks show up in mass, take your pick. Somebody will go crazy and have their career game. And or a legend will be born, or something stupid will happen at the Garden, like it happens every single. When does it not happen?
I like the concept and the theory.
Yeah, the concept is great.
Of honoring, those that came before the good players, right? I like seeing Patrick sitting there courtside and LJ and whatever. And thank God Carmelo is not part of that. So yes, I'm fine with it in theory, but yeah, it does seem that way. So let's just get right into it. I mean, Mike Brown taking a lot of heat and deservedly so. Brunson taking a lot of heat and deservedly so. But let's start with Brunson. So let's be fair. The guy has mostly been great since he's been here. probably been the best Knick.
Best things
since,
happened to the Knicks in 20 years.
Yes. I mean, since Ewing, right?
Yes.
Since Ewing was in his prime, Brunson, I think, is inarguably the best Knick since Patrick Ewing.
I don't think there's no arguing.
Right?
Melo fans might say Melo. No, sir. Oh yeah. No, I work with some big Melo fans. It's an ongoing argument.
How old are they? Let me ask. How old are they?
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, I'm sorry. Like anybody 40 and above who knows anything about basketball knows that Carmelo Anthony's tenure with the Knicks, nothing short of a disaster.
A disaster might be a strong word. I mean, they had some horrible teams with him, but they had a couple of playoff runs. I wouldn't say disaster, but it certainly left a lot on the table.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't want. Yeah, let's not relitigate that. So anyway, yes, I think we can agree that Brunson, best Knick since Ewing, right? Okay. So I don't want to kill him too much, but he was a big part of the problem last night.
He played hero ball all night. It was like he was taking it personally that they were going after him, and and the ball just completely stopped. It was horrible possession after horrible possession. And if he's on a heater, and
huge turnover late.
Oh, it was a killer.
Got stripped by Mikal Alexander Walker late. Led to the dunk on the other end.
Yep.
Horrible possession there, but it was one possession after the other. It just got worse and worse. He couldn't. I mean, I think he was 10 for 26. I mean, you look at the stat line: 29 points, however many assists it was. It wasn't that many.
If you watch the game, he was a disaster.
Exactly. Well, but he was 10 for 26. That's terrible shooting. I think he was 3 for 10 from 3. Even missed 2 foul shots, which I'm sorry. In the playoffs, you can't be missing foul shots, particularly at home. You can't do it.
And we've seen this over and over. They missed 10 free throws. That you're not winning playoff games when you miss 10 free throws. You're just not.
Goes back to the Charles Smith game against the Bulls in 1992 or 3. That was 3, right? 93. Yeah. Where the Charles Smith game, yes, frustrating. He got fouled. They never called it, of course. Knicks missed a ton of fourth quarter free throws in that game. Shouldn't even been close. So Brunson, horrible night for him last night. Now, I think it's reasonable to assume that he will bounce back and play much better.
Usually does.
Yes, he usually does. And I said going into the series, it's a tough matchup for him. Dyson Daniels is one of the better defenders in the league. And
guys in every passing lane is all over. He's like, I mean, you can't shake him.
No,
knocks
long,
away.
athletic.
The guy's a hell of a player
Defensively.
Yeah.
Now, I was actually impressed with Mike Brown, some of his strategy, because he had Cat guarding him a lot, if you noticed. Because Dyson Daniels not going to give you much on offense. So that was working for a while. But anyway, let's get back to that. So Brunson, huge part of the problem last night. OG, talk about a frustrating player at times.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like his play has dropped off a bit from remember when they first acquired him, and he was legit. He was probably his second best player. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. That team with Randall and DiVincenzo and Hartenstein and Brunson and Hart and OG had they went on like a 16-2 run and were beating,
and they were blowing everybody out.
Senseless. Yes. And it was good teams too. It wasn't just beating up on the dreck of the NBA, of which we know there's a lot of. It
was all meshing, and then everybody got hurt.
Yep.
And then one by one, everybody got hurt. But anyway, OG, his play has been very up and down.
Last night he missed the dunk.
Yep.
Misses the dunk.
And then misses 2 free throws. He's been missing a lot of dunks this year.
He was 4 for 8 from the foul line last night total. Terrible. Yeah. Missed the 2 huge clutch ones in the fourth quarter. After missing that dunk, I don't even know how. He is so weird sometimes. He goes from in one possession, he will look like the most athletic player on the floor.
Right, he jump over the building.
Yep.
And then he gets rejected by the rim. And he's been all year. It's just inexplicably. Or he just gets stripped.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then he'll have a possession where he goes up amongst four guys and rips a rebound down.
Yeah.
I mean, and looks like he has the best hands in the league. So he was a big part of the problem last night. Cat was having a good game until the fourth quarter and then completely disappeared. Took 2 shots in the fourth quarter.
But a lot of that's on Brunson.
Thank you. I was just going to say that's on the coach and that's on Brunson. I mean, guys, what are we doing here? Why are we not running high pick and rolls with Cat and Brunson, or do a pick and pop? I mean, he's supposedly the best shooting big man in the history of the NBA, as everybody likes to say with this nonsense. If you watch ESPN, which is the worst, because they have to anoint everybody. Everybody has to get anointed now in sports. So that was a big part of the problem. Was he was completely non-existent in the fourth quarter, and then Deuce and Landry Shamet off the bench last night.
So that was that stretch in the second quarter.
Second quarter,
where
beginning of the second quarter,
they were up 11, 12, whatever it was. That second unit came in with Shamet and
it was
Deuce
11
on the court at the same time. I guess with Mitch and Clarkson and maybe was it hard?
He may have kept OG out there. I think OG was still out there.
But every possession, Deuce and Shamet were touching the ball, getting stripped. They were a combined 0 for 7 with 4 turnovers. It looked like a bad high school team going up against an NBA team. They were helpless.
Yeah, it looked like if you and I were playing the guard positions for the Knicks.
I mean, we're texting back, what is going on? Like this, and he let it continue for like however many minutes they were on the court, and then he came back with a revised edition of that to start the fourth quarter, and of course that did not go well. Deuce right now, I mean, that's a tough injury he's coming back from. He's not showed any evidence that
I give him a pass.
Yes, because we know what he can do.
He's rusty.
Exactly, but as of right now, he appears to be somebody who gives you absolutely nothing. Nothing. I mean, nothing. He's actually hurting the team right now. And I mean,
him and Landry Shamet, they looked like they forgot how to dribble. What were they doing last night? It was crazy.
That was bizarre. And then and just the coach all of a sudden decides to run that lineup out there. It was very strange.
Well, what's weird, right, is he realized how poorly they were playing, so he brought in Alvarado, who has become persona non grata for whatever reason. I don't even know.
Can't score.
No, he can't. It's a problem, but he can dribble the ball up the court and not fucking turn it over every other possession like Deuce and Shamet were last night. So those guys are a huge part of the problem. Yeah, I looked. So they were combined. They combined for 4 turnovers, no points, and a -10.
Yeah, I think they were combined. I think it was 0 for 7. I think the 3 of them were 0 for 7.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
I mean, Clarkson was fine. He made a couple of baskets. He was okay. Mitch was great. Mitch was great off the bench. I think he had 13 points. He was 6 for 6 from the field.
Had a bad defensive fourth quarter, though.
He did, asking him to switch out on Jalen Johnson is a tough assignment. I mean, that's, the Knicks got caught in way too many switches last night in the fourth quarter. Brunson, I mean, we know Brunson is limited physically. It's not a question of effort with him. There's only so much he can do defensively because he's just kind of, he's not the quickest of foot. And get him consistently getting switched on to McCollum, which we're going to get to that in a second, was bad. I mean, you can't have it. In the fourth quarter, if Dyson Daniels is going to be out there, Jalen Brunson needs to guard him. And you got to put OG let me get to one of the other GOATs, and that's Mikal Bridges. And not just because, A, he didn't drive to the basket, and B, he missed the shot, but 3 for 10 for the game, nowhere to be found. I mean, I don't even expect anything from him.
Nor should you. Nor should you.
I mean, has he not been a massive disappointment?
Yep.
Considering what they gave up.
Could have been put to a hell of a lot better use.
Well, and they gave him a $150 million contract extension in the offseason last year because he had a pretty good – to be fair, he had 2 huge plays against the Celtics in the playoffs last year.
Exactly. In the biggest spots in 2 consecutive games.
Yeah, 2 huge defensive plays.
Yes.
So let's be fair.
But there's also a large body of work that he just disappears for such really long stretches. And constantly settles for terrible shots.
Yeah. Well,
you know where I thought that game started to turn was when there was that series where he missed 2 threes where they were halfway down.
Yep. Wide open.
He's got to knock one of those down. When they came away from there with no points, I thought that this is not a good sign.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was kind of where it all started to go to hell.
Yep, that's a good call. Yeah, that's 100% right. Look, and then the last thing, when I am so sick and tired of hearing about how Madison Square Garden is the mecca of basketball, and B, how Knicks fans like to fancy themselves the most savvy, smart basketball fan. What are we doing going after CJ McCollum and trying to make him into the latest villain so we can shove it right in your faces?
Like everyone else does. Yep, they do not learn their lesson.
But this is CJ McCollum. There is not a more benign figure in the NBA than CJ McCollum. He went to Lehigh, for fuck's sake, okay? He doesn't have 8,000 tattoos. He doesn't look like he just did a 5-year bid at San Quentin like 90% of this other fucking stupid league does, all right? He's about as nice a guy as there is. He's been in the league for 14 years. He's a good, solid veteran. I mean, he's had a very good career. He averaged like 20 points a game for his career, but he's also 34 now. And now all of a sudden, he's Jerry West, and the Knicks have no answers for him.
Of course.
But the fans are going to give him the business.
Yeah. Well, as Breeny and Clyde said in a regular season game, it's Madison Square Garden. It's medicine for every visiting player that comes in there and plays the best game they've ever played.
Yeah. Well, and that's and then so the people that cover the Knicks, right? Like Zerbo and Alan Hahn and Monica McNutt, like they'll always, and Pito, and I like all those guys. They're very good, but they'll always point out, well, yeah, because it's the biggest stage, and so this is where people want to shine. And I'm sure there's truth to that, of course. That definitely is a thing. But could we have any more of a home court disadvantage as a result?
Has any team ever lost more big games at home than them? No, it's
doesn't seem it.
In all the years that we've been Knicks fans, it's just one after another, after another.
But I mean, the CJ McCollum thing is really stupid. I mean, he made a very innocuous comment about Brunson overacting. By the way, Brunson does overact, okay? I like it because he's on my team, and finally the Knicks have a guy that hunts fouls and gets calls that he probably shouldn't get, like every other player in the NBA does, or a lot of other star players do. Like Harden is a perfect example of that. SGA is a perfect example of that. So fine, we're allowed as Knicks fans to finally have a guy that does that. But if I was playing against him, I would get annoyed by him too.
Drives you insane.
Yeah. So all he said was, he's on Broadway. I mean,
who cares?
And then now,
it's
such a nothing.
It's just
nothing comment.
Yeah,
nothing. And it was an accident. It's not like he kicked him in the stones on purpose. He raised his leg and shot. I mean, he wasn't doing it on purpose.
Yes.
CJ McCollum, again, there's not a more benign figure in the NBA than CJ McCollum. No. It's ridiculous.
And the NBA, again, I mean, we've been saying this for a while with the 20 minutes to review every single call. It's just that's tough for another conversation. It's just
it is.
It's maddening.
It is. Yeah, it is maddening. And look, I still think the Knicks get through the series. Probably going to be 7 games.
This pretty much guarantees best case scenario 6. Best case. They need to go up 2-0. They needed to have some breathing room and go up 2-0. Now game 3 is a must win. Now you've got to win this game on the road.
Absolutely.
So, tough. It's just
2-0 and 2-0. I know it never changes. I mean, nothing is ever easy with this team. 2-0, and that game should have been a cakewalk last night too.
Yep.
I mean,
you're up 12 to start the 4th. You have to win the game. You cannot lose that game.
I mean,
it's not like Mikal Alexander shot the lights out of the. Well, they did in the 4th quarter, But you look at
Of course.
the final stats. I mean, it's not like they were world beaters either. Both teams
Jalen
shot
Johnson
bad
did
from
nothing for 3.5 quarters and still finished with like 16, 17 points. He didn't do much for the game. Mikal Alexander rather, did nothing. He had like 7 points in the whole game. I mean, McCollum went off.
Yeah.
That was about it. And Nkongwu, who always kills the Knicks.
Yep.
I mean, that guy, he's
So Kuminga had a lot of it. He was all over the court.
But Daniels didn't. I mean, not that Daniels is much of a scorer anyway, but he was in foul trouble. I mean, that was a game there for the taking, obviously.
Yep.
And it shouldn't have ever even gotten close, let alone losing the game. So, and that was the other thing too. Like Mike Brown, it's the playoffs. You don't play. You're not playing again until Thursday. Can you knock it off with 4 or 5 minutes to start the fourth quarter, and both Towns and Brunson are on the bench?
Dude, you can't. That's insane.
What?
It's insane.
This is not the regular season. We're not playing the Wizards tomorrow.
There's nothing that gives you the impression that Mike Brown is a difference maker as a coach. That he's a guy that's really gonna he's gonna be the difference in a game.
Look, hell of a nice guy, very easy to root for. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He admits mistakes. Like nothing, nothing against the guy personally, but I mean, to think that he's some sort of strategic upgrade over Thibodeau is insane.
Yeah.
And facts, okay, both Towns and Bridges have had way worse years under Mike Brown, and this supposed great offense that I heard about, where is it? The Knicks don't even run any plays. I mean, listen, I've been killing Bridges all year. How about run a play for the guy from time to time?
Yeah, if you do, what's he going to do?
He's
He's just going to pull up and take a 20-foot fadeaway.
Well, I mean, he does have that good mid-range game. When he gets to the elbow, he can knock those shots down.
Right.
He is a good corner 3 shooter. I mean, it's supposed to be this wide open, free flowing offense. So it's not worked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, it doesn't
not
mean anybody
working.
knows where to go or what to do. They just wind up like what happened last night. Just wind up standing around watching Brunson
Brunson dribble around until there's 7 seconds left. I know.
You're not. It's not a recipe for success.
I think he'll right the ship. I think I would be shocked if he doesn't come out on Thursday night and at least start the game trying to get everybody involved a lot. I would be surprised. Yeah, I would be very surprised. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little Major League Baseball. Talk a little Mets.
Yeah. This has been a rough stretch here.
Well, again, it's not like this wasn't predictable. Okay, I've been over it before, but you know what? We'll talk about it again a little bit more. The general manager, David Stearns, went on all offseason about run prevention, formerly known as pitching and defense. And
R.I.P.
Yeah. And yet said, we're going to play a guy third base that's never played third base before. We're going to play a guy first base that's never played first base before. We're going to turn Brett Beatty, who actually showed signs and promise as a more than capable third baseman and hit down the stretch last year. We're going to move him off at third base and make him a right fielder, a left fielder, and a first baseman. Okay. Let's see. What other
Vantos you got no plan for?
There was never any plan for him. It's weird. Like he had a great year 2 years ago, including the playoffs. He had a not great year last year, admittedly, but he also didn't get a lot of consistent at-bats. The whole team tanked down the stretch, but yet they didn't come into the season with much of a plan for him. He's actually played. I know he made one bad throw home that cost them a run and ended up contributing to a loss. He's actually scooped the ball very well at first base. Is he the most, aesthetically pleasing first baseman you've ever seen? No. but he's kind of gotten the job done. And he was one of the only guys that was hitting early in the year. Of course, he's gone into a slump now as well, although he did hit a home run against the Cubs last week in the game that they were winning 1-0 that Devin Williams blew. But my point is...
Michael Conforto, of course.
Of course. And then Mendoza has a chance to not have to pitch to, was it Nico Horner or it was one of their better players. And the guy on deck was the guy who was struggling. Walk that guy, set up the double play, and see if he can get at. I mean, listen, again, Mendy, very Mike Brown vibes. Like, nice guy and all. He seems to be a bit overmatched in this. I mean, Mike Brown's actually much better than Mendoza. At least he wins regular season games.
Are you disparaging the Aaron Boone coaching tree? Is that what you're doing right now?
Oh. I mean, and that's the other thing. Apparently, David Stearns can either get Yankee rejects or Brewers rejects. That's it. Those are the only guys we can get. So none of this is surprising at all. But what's so irritating about it, I mean, look, I was not the biggest Pete Alonso fan in the world. It's kind of a big dope. But guy played 160 games every year. It's very difficult
to replace that kind of production.
Yeah. I mean, his bad year in 2024, they still made the playoffs, and he hit one of the biggest home runs in team history when he hit the home run off of Devin Williams.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, actually, you no longer have three of the biggest Yankee killers. So we could never get Alonso out, could never get McNeil out, could never get Nimmo out.
Yeah.
So
all gone.
Yeah.
All gone. Now, I had no problems getting rid of Jeff McNeil. It's not 1989. I can't have my second baseman who has no range and can't get to anything hitting 252 with 10 home runs and 49 RBIs. No, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, you're not Rich Dower. Adios. Fine. No problems getting rid of him. I didn't even have an issue necessarily getting rid of Nimmo because the Mets ruined him because what he was really good at was hitting leadoff and/or at worst case in this two-hole because getting on base was always his thing. But we had to, accommodate Senor Soto. And apparently the delicate genius Francisco Lindor now can only hit leadoff now. It's the only place he can be successful because 3 years ago he was in a slump and they moved him to leadoff and then he started hitting well there. So apparently he can only, even though for his whole career with Cleveland he hit second or third. And so they moved Nimmo to cleanup last year. He stopped trying to get on base, started swinging at everything. Strikeout rate went way up. Walk rate went way down. Who'd have thunk it? Wow. So weird that would happen. Guess what he's doing this year in Texas? Hitting leadoff again. He's hitting about 330 with like a 420 on base percentage. I know it's early, but I mean, David Stearns, remember, his first year was 2024. He inherited that team. He made two good moves that year, which was Sean Manaea and Severino, which basically were low-risk, high-reward type moves, right?
Yeah.
Didn't give him a lot of money. Those guys were both coming off down years and injuries, and they actually both ended up having good years. I'm not even going to give him credit for Jose, what is Iglesias' first name? Is it Jose? The ONG guy? Yeah, the shortstop.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to give him credit. You know why I'm not going to give him credit? Because he brought him to camp on a non-roster invitee deal, signed Joey Wendell, who, I mean, how that guy's even been in Major League Baseball for as long as he has is one of the great mysteries of all time. Signed Joey Wendell coming fresh off of a 200 batting average year for the Rays the year before. He was going to be the utility infielder. Iglesias badly outplayed him in spring training, said, sorry, bye-bye, either accept a demotion to AAA or go be a free agent. Iglesias liked the team and said, you know what, I'll take my AAA demotion. They kept Wendell on the team. Wendell was, of course, horrendous, cost the Mets 2 games in the field by making errors, hit about 150, got hurt, luckily for the Mets. Then they called up Iglesias, and then things started to take off in the second half. So, yes, you want to give Stearns credit maybe for at least bringing him in. Okay, but it wasn't like he was part of the plan. It kind of dumb lucked him their way into that one also. So you have that. Then you have this offseason, which, again, I'm fine with. You want to retool the team, fine. Don't give me Marcus Semien at 35 years old.
He looks a little washed.
He's 35. It happens. Guys don't typically tend to get better as they get older. I mean, particularly in the non-PED era that we live in.
This isn't Barry Bonds here.
No. I mean, he had a 660 OPS last year and something similar to that the year before. So 2 down years offensively for him, but because he's supposedly a Gold Glove second baseman, that's going to make it all okay. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, just the Mets just don't have a plan. And David Stearns' track record here is not particularly strong. So I have zero confidence that he knows what the hell he's doing. I really don't. I mean, putting Brett Beatty in right field, I mean, I can't even imagine something that dumb. He's like a lumbering corner infielder. What do they do? It's insane. It's insane. So, thankfully, I haven't watched the game. I was away all weekend, so I didn't watch any of the Cubs games. They're playing right now as we speak. So, maybe I'll watch after we wrap the show. But, I mean, they've lost 11 games in a row. And, yes, I understand that it's early, but to try to make the playoffs, they've already got a huge uphill climb. And if this continues, I mean, they have a 9-game homestand, right? Twins, Rockies, and another team that's not.
You think the manager's on the hot seat?
If they don't go at least 6-3 in this 9-game homestand, or if it's worse, if they go like 4-5, he's gonna be gone. Unfortunately for him, if you add the way they finished last year and how they've started this year, I mean, I'm not saying he's the problem, but he's not the problem either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, as is always the case, it's never only the manager's fault, right? I mean, look, Stearns has put together a terrible roster. I mean, let's just be honest. Terrible roster. Now, yes, do you think Bo Bichette at some point is going to hit and not hit 204 with one home run?
So. I would assume so.
You would think he'll hit. You know, I'm not the biggest Soto guy, but getting him back in the lineup obviously will help the lineup. You know, hopefully the delicate genius, Francisco Lindor, may decide he might want to get a hit from time to time. I know we're all supposed to just shrug our shoulders and just say, oh, yeah, he's a slow starter. Yeah, he goes 10 for 70 every year to start the season. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Tough. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, look, yes, some of the moves, the Bichette move I didn't mind, except for the fact that they're asking him to play third base. And the biggest problem he had at shortstop is he doesn't have a good arm. Well, you need a better arm to play third base and shortstop. Like these are simple things. You don't have to be a baseball savant to understand these things.
Right. Yeah.
So
I can't imagine being a Mets fan right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole lineup hasn't hit. I mean, no one has hit. I mean, it's insane. Like the numbers are staggering how bad they are. And then when they've gotten a well-pitched game, of course, and Devin Williams blows
when you're going bad, that's just how it always.
Of course, you know that. I knew it. I was following that game on my phone. I was playing golf. I was in Florida, and the more and more I saw it, 7th inning 1-0, 8th inning 1. I'm like, all right, the Mets going to lose this game. They're going to lose 2-1.
Yep.
I mean,
I lived it all last year.
Yeah, but you guys still won 94 games and you made the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees, I mean, at least even in your bad years, it's like you make the playoffs and then you lose in the first round and everybody gets all upset. But, and listen, I get it. Aaron Boone's tough to take, but
10 years of what I've had to endure, we expect he'll get back to doing damage, controlling the strike zone. All these
that's
stupid,
everywhere.
All the really like his pitch shape. I know he's not the only one, but sweeper was really somehow sweeper is a thing.
Yep. Everyone's succumbed to it.
But it's more just Boone's just like everybody's great. Everybody on the team is great. Everything's always. I know where it comes from, but it's just maddening. It's just maddening. I don't feel like he's the kind of player that he's the kind of manager that players want to break through a wall for. It's just I know the players like him, but I just don't. Nobody fears for their jobs. Like that's play at all levels, whether it's high school, college, the pros. When you fear for your job, you're going to play better. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice to play better. It's either that or you're out. And it's just the same. It's just constantly. It's always the same people making the same mistakes. Nothing ever gets corrected. And
you know what?
It's just
they should maybe look into getting cotton uniforms.
You feel better. You're gonna play better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you might do so. I'm onto something.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could use a little George Costanza.
Yeah. I mean, but the Yankees are going to be fine. You guys are going to be in the mix. You're going to get Cole back and you get Rodon back. Schlittler looks like the real deal. Judge is Judge. You've gotten some contributions from some unlikely sources already early.
Not offensively, it hasn't been great. Offensively,
it hasn't.
Jazz is just he looks like he's never played baseball before.
He's been bad.
He was bad in the he showed no signs in the preseason.
Which usually you don't care with the veteran.
But he was also horrible in the playoffs. Anyway, but Austin Wells looks like he's never going to hit above 120. Obviously, Ryan McMahon does not look like a major league offensive player.
Well, he's been on the decline for a while,
too. And he's been awful in the field. He's got he's every throw he's throwing lawn darts to first.
That was a weird one to me. The Yankees, I remember, would not be fine with Ryan McMahon as your starting third baseman. I mean,
they lost so many games because they didn't have a third baseman. Nobody could play the position. So nobody. They were going with Oswald Peraza, who now, of course, now is raking.
Great for the Angels.
It looked like a guy who couldn't even hit at a junior high school level. And now of course he's just he's raking. Oh, as is Mr. Sanchez.
Gary Sanchez?
Yeah, he's back with Milwaukee. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he's
the Mets had him. Mets took a flyer on him.
5 games.
Yep. Yeah.
Now the other guy who's hitting was I don't even remember that backup infielder they had last year, Yorbit Divas, who swings really great, swings hard. I don't think he's ever hit a ball hard in his life.
He was a Yankee?
Yeah, they got him from the Dodgers in a trade a couple years ago. Anyway, he was a backup infielder. Never hit the ball hard. And now he's with the Nats, and he's not a lot of at bats, but now he's of course hit.
Yeah.
And a few weeks into the season, but just stuff that you keep an eye on. Always always keep an eye on the people that left your team, and it always pisses you off. Not that you want them to fail as individuals, but as a fan, you don't want them to succeed with another team.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, look, maybe it makes me a bad person, but I wasn't shedding any tears over seeing the news that Edwin Diaz is going on the DL the other day. And it's not killing me that Alonso's hitting 190 with 2 or 3 home runs for the Orioles either.
Oh, by the way, but the Dodgers won't miss a beat. It won't even matter.
Of course. No, they'll put Tanner Scott will take over the closer's role.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I know. But it's a long season. I mean, you look all around. Cal Raleigh's off to a horrible start. Most of the Mariners lineup is hitting.
A lot of teams have a lot of players struggling.
Yeah. The Phillies. I mean, nobody's hitting for the Phillies either right now. The Braves, of course, rolling along. They're fine. Of course, they'll be just fine. The Red Sox are off to a terrible start. I know that really is breaking you up.
Well, they play. The Yankees are playing now, so with their annual get right team. So I fully expect to get swept in the series.
Oh boy! All right.
Always positive.
Yes, always.
I would be positive if anybody would ever give me a reason to be positive. Then maybe I would. Maybe my outlook would be better if they weren't always disappointing me.
Well, I was going to say, let's see. How many World Series have they won since you've been a Yankee fan?
It's been 16 years. It's been 16,
Well,
16
it has
years.
been. Okay. You got 4 in a row?
What have they done for me in 16 years?
You got 4 in a row. You had 80s, 70s.
I got 5. Yeah, I got 5 championships from 96 through 2009.
Right.
Yeah,
then you had.
Yeah, but they've given me nothing since 2016. and the football team, the brilliant marketing team that is the Dallas Cowboys. Great greatest marketing franchise in all of sport. Not so much, but it's been 30 years of complete futility.
Well, speaking of which, good segue.
Yes, yep, exactly.
NFL draft is Thursday.
Yep, can't believe that snuck up on us.
First round. Yeah. So let's see here. Okay. So the NFL draft is upon us, or almost. Starts Thursday, goes Friday, Saturday. This is a really good draft if you need offensive linemen. It is a really good draft if you need D-backs.
Yep, like versatile, a lot of versatile DBs.
Yep,
and now
a lot of guys.
The way the league's evolving now, meaning like quote unquote Swiss Army knife type players in your secondary. It would appear that this draft has a lot of those guys.
Yeah, everybody wants, and I'm not even saying this because I'm a Lions fan. I've seen this. Everybody wants a Brian Branch type.
Yep.
Or
Nick Emenwari.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that guy's even a physical freak because he's also big. Brian Branch is like,
right. But a DB who by the way, just a quick diversion here. Do you know what player actually invented the Swiss Army knife? Who's not in the Hall of Fame, and it infuriates me. Darren Woodson. He invented that. He invented that position, and he played all the special teams, by the way. Which is, but he would, he could play corner. He was essentially a corner / safety / nickel / linebacker. He did it because he was a linebacker in college. Got converted to safety. Darren Woodson, if for anybody who never saw him play, did everything you wanted on the field. Was an instrumental part of 3 Super Bowl victories, and for some reason he is not in the Hall of Fame. But I have to watch Brian Dawkins make the Hall of Fame because every time he made a play, he would dance on the field like he called, "Hey, look at me! He was a good player. I'm not saying he wasn't a good player. He wasn't better than Darren Woodson. Or if you want, or if he was better, it's not by a lot. Except he drew attention to himself every time he made a play. He did a stupid dance, which Woodson didn't do. It is infuriating. Anyway, that's my little editorial for Mr. Woodson.
Listen, Darren Woodson should be in the Hall of Fame over your owner. I'm not exactly sure why the owner is in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think that's why isn't he on? Because he's made trillions of dollars for the league. That's why.
Oh, okay. I mean,
that's
I guess
it's not because people love him. It's because he's been a financial windfall for the league.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so really good draft. Offensive linemen, tackles in particular, but also guards and centers. I mean, there are starter level offensive linemen that you're going to get in the 4th round. Guys that could be day 1 starters. Really good.
Got a lot of edges too.
And good. So good D line as well. The tackles not as much, but D ends. I know. By the way, have you noticed that the term defensive end doesn't exist anymore? Now it's just edge rusher or just edge.
It's like it's just edge or defensive lineman is kind of right. Like yeah.
Anyway, really good for that. Pretty good wide receivers, tight ends, not much. Quarterbacks, very weak quarterback draft class, or at least it appears to be so far. Running back, I mean, Jeremiah Love.
After that, not a lot.
Not a ton. So now, thankfully, my team. Well, let's start off with this. I have a few basic tenets here about how one runs a draft and one doesn't run a draft. First of all, as a general rule, trading up is bad business. Now, if you are a team where you're only moving up a few spots, you're a player away for putting you over the top. You got to the championship game last year. You have one area that's deficient. You want to trade up a little bit and not give up a ton. You could sell me on that. As a general rule, trading up, bad idea. That's number one. Number two, do not draft tight ends in the top 10 of the
Eric
draft.
Ebron?
You don't. Eric Ebron, TJ Hawkinson. Who's that big stiff that the Jets drafted from Penn State a million years ago? Kyle Brady.
Right, when they famously took over Warren Sapp, right?
Right, yeah. Exactly. Well, and again, I know we've gone through this before, but I mean, just look around the league. Look at a whole really good tight ends.
Most of the best tight ends seem to go in the second or third round.
Correct, and some even the fourth and fifth. I mean, George Kittle was a fifth-round pick. Right. So, not saying always, but you can get them. Later.
I mean, there are Brock Bowers out there, but it's as a general rule, it seems like. I guess Kyle Pitts is. Maybe if he went to a different situation, who knows? But he's certainly not been what people thought he was going to be.
No, Colston Loveland was the 10th pick. He had a really good second half of the season. Ben Johnson knows what he's doing. He may be an outlier. He may be the exception to the rule. But yeah, as a general rule, you don't take tight ends in the top 10. Because again, like Kyle Pitts and even Brock Bowers, I understand it's not Brock Bowers' fault. The Raiders are a disaster. But, I mean, they're not going to – it's just you can get by with a so-so tight end and still be a very good team. You cannot get by without a quarterback or without a left tackle or without a pass rusher or a lockdown corner. Those positions are way more important than tight end. Right. That's the point.
Well, as you know, teams have been chasing "quote unquote" matchup nightmares for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't draft guys with long injury histories.
Well, that's hurt guys stay hurt, and knuckleheads stay knuckleheads.
So So guys that have off the field issues,
it ain't going to get better once they make the pros. No matter how much your team says, no, you got it all wrong. We got structures in place.
Okay. Yep. Our culture, man, our locker room is so strong. Yeah.
Knuckleheads, guys. Knuckleheads, you can only get away with drafting knuckleheads high when you've got a really good team that does have a really good culture, and you can afford that one knucklehead who's gonna, and it is gonna turn to shit pretty, within a couple of years. But you get like 1 or 2, maybe 3 good years out of him before everything goes south, and you've gotten the best you're going to get out. But like generally, if you're a bad team and you take a knucklehead, you deserve everything you get because it's gonna be a disaster.
Pretty much.
James Pierce.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. We got to shed a little light on the subject in here. I just realized. Okay. All right, and we're back. That's better.
Yeah. The James Pierce. Obviously, that was a pretty glaring example where his history was pretty well known, and
and he had a good year for them
too. Yeah,
he
had a great year. But again,
Reuben Foster can go back a few years, a linebacker from Alabama.
Alonso McClain. It's endless. It's
no. There is a difference. Though, like, Jamison Williams is a jackass, but he's just kind of a jackass. Right. He's not a bad guy.
I guess there's different degrees.
Right. There's different degrees. But, and he's gotten better, still needs to do some work. I mean, jumping on the goalpost last year against the Eagles and again in the 15-yard penalty, and, of course, we missed the extra point. I mean, that's classic. But I agree with you there. Overall, as a general rule. So, all right. Give me.
Well, I got another, and then I got another one. Is tape over traits. Tape over traits.
Is what?
Tape over traits.
Tape over traits.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Watch the film. Don't the measurables.
Yep.
The combine stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Mike Mamulas of the world.
I can live with taking a guy who has great tape. Who winds up not being as good as you thought he was going to be because he does have some physical limitations. I can live with missing on that guy. I can't live with passing up on Aaron Donald because he was he wasn't 6'4", You know,
Right.
I can't live with that. I mean, maybe that's an extreme example, but
Well,
the league is littered with guys getting way overdrafted because they have traits, because teams think they think they're the ones that are that see what everybody what everybody doesn't.
Mike Mamula is the patron saint of that.
Yeah. Although he actually had, I think, like first couple of years he was okay, as I recall, and then
okay, he had I think his season high was I think he had 9 sacks one year or something like that. Yeah.
And to be fair, we've watched a lot of players over the years that had really good tape that we thought should go pretty high, and they washed out pretty quickly. So it's not a hard fast rule, but I think college production is a pretty good barometer of future success. Whereas somebody has no production but is on Bruce Feldman's freaks list, that should be a thing. Anybody should ever pay attention to that. By the way, as soon as I hear he's on somebody's freaks list, just shut it down. Just stop it. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares.
No, listen, I'm with you. I mean, give me a guy who played at Ohio State, Alabama, whatever, at a high level, over, some dude from Western Kentucky who, ran sub 4.4 but never did anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like drafting Henry Ruggs. Obviously, very sad story there. Drafting him over CeeDee Lamb. I mean, what are we doing?
Yep. Right. Well, the Raiders seem to specialize in that.
That's kind of their thing.
When Mayock was there, who was the Damon Arnett? Also, he was a total disaster.
Ohio State.
Yep. Be back.
Right.
Yep. All right. So with that in mind, give me 5 guys you don't want the Cowboys taking any part of in this draft.
Well, we're saying first round, right?
First round pick. Yeah, first round only.
I mean, maybe it's lazy, but again, we're talking about tape over traits. Supposedly they're high on Keldrick Fault, and if they don't trade up, and they're apparently, from what I'm hearing, they would be more than fine picking him at 12 if they got wiped out of the guys they would want. Yes, there's rumblings about this that they would be okay.
You have to remember, it's also smoke screen season, right?
You actually have to be skilled at what you do to give smoke screens. They're not that clever. They're not clever. They can't help themselves. I think there is a legitimate possibility he could be the pick at 12 if they get wiped out, which will make me insane. So him, fine.
You want no part of him.
Second round, fine.
For the uninitiated, he's a big, tall, traitsy defensive end from Auburn who I keep reading this because, by the way, there's some mocks saying the Lions might take him at 17 also. He's also on my list of hard pass. He had 7 sacks his junior year, his big pass rush year, and I think he had 4 last year. Yeah, no thanks.
No,
I suppose he's already good against the run.
Almost on his tape, a lot of hand clapping, almost got there. Not real bendy around the edge from what all my draft gurus have observed. Seems to me like he's a guy who will top out at 4 or 5 sacks, maybe give you some decent run defense as a ceiling. I want no part of it.
Taco Charlton vibes for sure.
Yeah, something like that. Although supposedly, supposedly this guy likes football, whereas Taco Charlton could care less. But he's the kind of guy.
I know he might be the next Daniel Hunter. Maybe he's going to be the next. Let somebody else get lucky and let him.
You can see him going to the Steelers, the Ravens, and being good. Okay, but those two teams have track records of drafting defensive players and having a vision and a plan for how to use them. Outside of that, no thanks.
All right, that's one. Give me another one.
Peter Woods.
Peter Woods, defensive tackle from Clemson.
Yeah, another guy who was supposed to be a top 5 pick.
Aaron, don't you know they line him up in the backfield on the goal line, man, and give him the ball? He's like an athlete.
Another guy with very limited production. I guess Clemson. Clemson fans might say it's how they were used. I guess that's. I watched a lot of Clemson games too because they had those 3 guys who were supposed to go pretty high.
CJ Parker
and Avian Terrell
and AJ Terrell.
But
AJ Terrell's little brother, right? Avian Terrell.
But like, so I guess one A, one or two A, two B being Peter Woods and TJ Parker. I mean, I remember watching Clemson games and they were both. You never saw them do anything. So again, these are traits guys, and the first round, again, you second round, fine, but first round,
not first round.
No, sir.
Yeah,
no,
I think the big thing there, what's a little bit different is, well, similar, I guess, but they had TJ Parker, I think in particular, had a pretty good junior year. And then, like, the whole kind of Clemson team had a bad last year, including him.
Yeah.
So
it's possible. I guess I liken it to those guys that last year at Texas A&M who were all highly touted and none of them ever made any plays.
Right.
Nick Scorton, who I think he actually didn't go that high. But Shamar Stewart, who was
terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
So I kind of lumped those in together, like
yeah, agreed.
So those really. I mean, I don't know if there's like a 4 and 5. Those are the three guys I really that I'm really not going to be thrilled with.
Okay, now give me three guys you would bang the table for.
Caleb Downs, for sure.
Okay, if he lasts there, yeah.
Yeah. Probably. They're
safety out of Ohio State, by the way. Caleb Downs.
Sonny Styles would probably help them help the Cowboys tremendously. And and then plus they need linebackers in the worst way, in the absolute worst way. And then
you think there's a chance he would fall to 12?
Probably not. Doubtful. And you'd probably have to trade up to 6. I'm not giving up major resources to trade up. You can't.
Right.
And then maybe I don't think it doesn't sound like they're going to take Bain with the 12th pick. It sounds like the short arms is a deal breaker for them from what I'm hearing.
Really?
Yeah.
Reuben Bain Jr., defensive end from Miami.
Yeah. Boy, that guy can play. David Bailey's pretty damn good for Texas Tech.
Yeah, I don't see him getting.
They don't have a chance. Oh, you mean so you're saying like guys that could legitimately
Yeah, of the guys that you think will be there, who do you want?
Yeah. All right, yeah. I would say maybe Downs gets to you because again the whole positional value thing. So maybe he gets there. Bain might get there because of the short arms. They may not take him. And then at that point, if you get wiped out, then it's just Mesidor maybe. I know he's 25. Supposedly with a bad foot.
Right.
It's Delane. I doubt because he's the top corner.
Mansour Delane from LSU. Corner from LSU.
I wouldn't mind having him.
You don't want your Mod McCoy, right?
It's apparently the team does. Apparently they're out on him with the knee. I'm tired. I'm tired of them. They have a bad history of taking medical red shirts.
I mean, he did just run like sub 4.4 his pro day.
Supposedly there's still concerns about the knee. I don't know. I'm not. They Cowboys have a real bad track record of taking hurt guys.
Right.
It just never works. So I'm not crazy about it.
All right.
Yeah. So that's so I guess Downs or Bain with guys who I think there are chances those guys could drop. Those are the guys I think of. Those two guys I think were the main guys that I would go, okay, great. And then for some reason somebody else fell. Now if they're able to trade up to 6, then maybe 2 or 3 of those guys could be in play.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think for sure. I mean, I think it seems to be Jeremiah Love is not getting past the Giants at 5 and may even go sooner than that.
Yeah.
Especially now that the Giants got the Bengals, which I don't know what the Bengals are doing there. That's insanity.
Very strange.
Trading their 10th pick for Dexter Lawrence, who was a good player 2 years ago, hasn't done much since. All right. Well, I'll give you mine.
And you're picking where?
17.
Yeah. I mean, now remember the Cowboys have two first-round picks.
Right.
So
you have 12 and 20?
So they have 12 and 20. So I was really talking more about 12, 20.
Right. No, I know.
20, Thieneman would be great. Terrell would be great. Avian Terrell I'd like.
Yep. I don't think Tiedemann gets past Minnesota at 18.
Probably
but yeah.
not. Probably not.
Yeah. What about the kid from Toledo? Why am I blanking on his name?
McNeil
The
Warren.
name guy. Yeah.
He'd be okay. He'd be all right at 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, all right. So you're picking where?
17.
Right.
So guys, I want no part of. First one, Caden Proctor. Tackle from Alabama.
Has your team been linked to him? Like, did you bring him in for a 30 visit?
Yes. Brought him in for a 30 visit. Obviously, offensive tackle is a huge need. Depending
but
on
he caught a touchdown though. What are you doing? Well, maybe he got knocked out at the 1 yard line. I remember there was that play where he caught a swing pass or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, listen, he's massive. He's 6'7", 355 pounds, and has, they call him, a dancing elephant. He's supposedly, he has great feet for a guy that size. Guys that size have a tough time with their weight. I know it was his freshman year, but he was awful his freshman year. He got trucked constantly, got run around constantly, gave up a ton of sacks. Yes, he's gotten better. Yes, the upside is there. With all the other more polished tackles that are available, I'm not taking him under any circumstances. Plus, he gives me Evan Neal vibes. So no thank you.
Right.
Number 2, same as you, no thank you on Keldrick Falk. A hard pass there. And then the third one, and look, I can only hope this is nonsense that I'm reading on the internet and smokescreen season, because Brad Holmes, the Lions GM, likes to say, we take best player available. That's what we do. And we think Larry Borum is starter caliber tackle in this league. Is Kenyon Sadiq. If they draft Kenyon Sadiq, I'm out. I'm out. Bye-bye. Done. Thank you. The tight end from Oregon, who's basically another big wide receiver, who you just took that guy last year in Isaac Tesla that you gave up 2 third-round draft picks for, and you don't have a third-round pick in this year's draft when you desperately need one. So they draft Kenyon Sadiq, a pass-catching tight end, with the 17th pick. I'm out. Bye-bye. Okay, 50 years as a Lions fan.
With Laporta on your team, I know people I know that the offense is now trending towards multiple tight ends.
I understand that.
I
understand that. Go get me some guy in the 5th round.
You got much bigger needs. I guess at 17 you do want to take, whoever you have as your highest rated player. You take.
No.
And obviously,
you don't do it.
You've got Eric Ebron, PTSD.
Well, yeah, and T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
And this regime actually was smart enough to trade T.J. Hawkinson and get a 3rd-round pick. Listen, not only will I be out, that if they are that stupid and they take Kenyon Sadiq at 17, I can guarantee you Dan Campbell will be fired within a year from now, and that franchise will be set back. It will be back to the Matt Millen days, the Bob Quinn days. They will suck for the next 5 years if they make that, if that's their draft pick.
Right.
That is about as idiotic a pick as could be humanly.
It seems like a bit of a luxury pick.
It's, again, you already have a stud tight end. Now, I understand he's coming off a back thing, and backs are tricky. I get that. Then you should have addressed it in free agency, Brad, if you were concerned. Now, all signs point to the fact that Laporte is going to be fine for training camp. He's going to be fine. But again, backs are tricky. They tend to be recurring injuries a lot of times.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to be fine. I don't know. But
so you have a real fear of this happening? I don't know that he gets to you. By the way, I don't know that he gets to you.
I pray he doesn't.
Exactly. That's the proverbial pen throw.
I pray he doesn't.
Like when he gets taken at 15, you're like, oh damn, darn.
Listen, the worst thing that might have ever, this is going to sound counterintuitive and a little crazy, but the worst thing that ever might have happened in this franchise is when Brad Holmes actually hit on Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Because remember, everybody hammered those picks.
Right.
Because you don't pick running backs.
Right.
Right. And you don't take off the ball linebackers. Now, both have turned out to be very good players. But just because you make, the thought process could be wrong and the result could still turn out well, and vice versa. You can have the right thought process and the result doesn't turn out well.
We've seen it happen many times.
Yep. So because he was the adult in the room. We could have drafted Jamar Chase. We took Penei Sewell. Like, he was an adult his first 2 years as a drafter. Then he's gotten way crazy the last couple of years, trading up for Giovanni Manu and trading up for Sione Vaki and all this other nonsense, and trading up for Isaac Tesla, who, again, talented guy. Even this year, he's going to be their third receiver. How much is that going to impact winning, is having a good third receiver? When you already have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you have Jameson Williams, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, you have Sam Laporta. Like, third receiver should be way far down the list of potential needs. So, look, if they take Sadiq, I hope it doesn't even get there, and I'm hoping this is just smokescreen nonsense. The guys that I want, give me Blake Miller from Clemson all day long. Take him, plug and play, right tackle, you move Sewell to left tackle, fine. I know left guard isn't a huge need, but if Vega Ione is there, take him. He's a beast. He's like Quentin Nelson, basically.
What about the Arizona guy?
Ichenhau and
Ionachor? Yeah.
Ionachor? Not in the first round, no. No. I'll give me either the two guys. Give me either two Utah guys. I'll take Fano or Lomu.
Yeah.
There at 17. If Mayoga drops there, for the kid from Miami drops there, he's not going to, but if for some reason he does.
I would assume he's probably going to be the first offensive lineman taken, I would think.
One would think. But, yeah, give me any of those. No, Chanahor or whatever his name is, the Arizona State guy, I can't pronounce his name. I take him in the second round, and if you want to take Mesidor in the first round at edge, okay, I'll live with that. I take, by the way, with the uncertainty around Kirby Joseph and with Brian Branch coming off an Achilles, if Tinneman's there at 17 and they want to take him, fine.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with that. Absolutely. So, anyway, that's my Lions draft perspective. I hope he gets back to basics. Brad Holmes, that is, the Lions GM. And, again, go back, dance with the girl who brung you. Get back to what you did well, which is you had a dominant offensive line, okay? And you imposed your will on teams. Get back to that.
Right.
That's what they need.
So you're hunting O-lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need either an offensive lineman in the first round and an edge in the second, or edge in the first, offensive lineman in the second.
Right.
It's got to be that should be what they do.
Right. And edge should stretch, well into the second round.
It should. It definitely should.
Yeah. There's a lot of pretty intriguing guys there.
Yep.
But it's like, this draft is very, there's not a lot of premium talent at the top. And then it's just a lot of like solid players that you can probably get from like, middle of the first to middle of the third or something, where probably not a lot of difference between a lot of those guys.
I know. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of a good thing, especially I'm picking it my team's picking at 17, then it's 50, and then, they don't have a third round pick. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of Jamal About Sports.
Just real quick, can I plug a show?
Please go ahead.
By the way, I'm not covering any new ground. It's not like this show just came out. It's not like there's anything underground. But I've been watching Andor. I've got
Andor. I told you it was good.
Yeah, I think I'm halfway through the second season, which is only 2 seasons. Star Wars for adults. As a kid, loved Star Wars. Saw like the first one 5 times. And I saw the other ones. But that's all. It's like I'm by no means like a big Star Wars aficionado. It's okay. Like I'd say Star Wars it's about so a 4 out of 10 in terms of like something that I really care about.
Right.
as a running.
Yeah, you're
story.
not like a Star Wars universe guy.
Not at all.
I know who Greedo's father was.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This show, this show is like pushing a 9. I think the show's phenomenal. It's really good. There's a lot of they don't spoon feed you. It's like they show they don't tell. A lot of stuff happens off screen, or you can just sort of kind of figure out what what happened.
Yeah.
They don't spoon feed you. It's pretty adult content. It's dark.
Yeah. It's good.
It's really good. It's like I thought I would like it, but I liked it even more than I expected. So it's like not breaking any new ground, but if anybody hasn't seen it, and it has like 1 foot in the Star Wars universe. This is pretty damn good.
That's the one to watch. Yes, that is the one.
You might even say it's sort of Game of Thrones without like the intense sex and violence.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty apt description.
Yeah. So
all right,
that's my
you heard it here, Andor. All right, my friend, a pleasure
as
always.
Back in the game here.
Yep. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this week's episode of Jamal About Sports. And until next time, peace out.